This podcast is produced by Northwest Michigan Community Action Agency. The Collective Us, an NMCAA podcast, focuses on inspiring you through stories of those we've helped through our programming or by linking local resources to community members in need. Join us as we learn about the programs offered through NMCAA and how we touch people's lives every day.
Thank you for joining us on The Collective Us. I'm Ryan Buck.
And I'm Erica Austin. Today, we are getting a small glimpse of the big impact NMCAA's programs have on our local economy. With a few important awareness dates coming up, we thought we'd talk about some of our lesser-known programs and how they impact money directly in the pockets of you and your neighbors.
I can't wait to find out more about a couple of these programs. We have a lot to get to, so let's dive in. But first, we need to do one important thing, welcome our guests. So we have Betty Dickinson, NMCAA Laundry Project volunteer. Welcome.
Thank you.
We also have Kaylee Lovejoy, NMCAA's Compliance and Administrative Service Coordinator. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you. Happy to be here.
And, surprise, returning guest is probably in the show notes. Never mind, NMCAA Engagement Manager Melissa Thompson. Welcome back.
Happy to be here.
Let's jump in with the first Awareness Day, and that is National Laundry Day. This takes place on April 15th. Bet you hadn't heard of that one yet before, Ryan.
Interesting date.
Yeah, April 15th. Yeah.
Okay.
And while it seems like such a simple and funny thing to bring awareness to, it's important because laundry plays a huge role in supporting basic human needs: food, water, shelter, sleep, and clothing. Not only do you need clothing to stay warm, feel comfortable, it also plays a huge role in self-confidence and overall well-being. This is something many of us take for granted, both having clothes to wear and choose from, but also having clean clothes to wear.
That's right. And that's why this particular laundry project is so important. So, Betty, you've been a longtime volunteer. I don't know if that was actually in the official intro. So, you've been a longtime volunteer with the Laundry Project. What about this community program really tugs at your heart? What stands out to you? Why is it so important?
Yeah, well, I haven't been able to volunteer as much this year, but the last few years volunteering, it's just been such a beautiful gift to be around a community that it's almost like in the olden days when people would gather together at the well and they would just have conversations. There's something about getting to know this community while they are all together in the same place and getting what they need done. You get to build all kinds of relationships with people throughout the community, and that's one of the things that I love the most is hearing people's stories and also figuring out what's the need, what brings them to the Laundry Project, and what are their circumstances so that I can be keeping a pulse on our community and what the needs are.
Yeah. It's important to note this program is free. You just have to show up at the laundromat during Laundry Project hours. Betty, I've never actually had an opportunity to go down to the Laundry Project. Do you have to do anything to take part in the program? Do you have to fill out any forms or anything like that?
Yeah, there's a small application process, but it's not super lengthy. So once you get through that, then you just show up for the Thursdays that they offer it and you're ready to go.
And you can do that on site, is that correct? Or is that?
It's through, I had to apply through an email coordination with, at the time it was Allison, but I don't know
Okay.
who's doing it now, or Alyssa.
I'm sorry, hold on. Is it to be a volunteer or?
To volunteer.
Okay. What about?
Oh, just to show up.
To get your
Yeah.
laundry.
Oh, yeah, no, you just show up.
You don't have to have any, okay.
Yeah, people who want to do their laundry, they just show up. And
Perfect.
I'm there as a volunteer and get to just swipe a credit card. And it's really, you can be a real dummy and do this role because all you have to do is swipe the card and push a couple buttons.
I'm into that.
So it's a really good fit for me because all you have to do is just welcome people, figure out who needs their, washer done, what setting they want it, swipe the card. But for the people who come, it's pretty, you just show up with your laundry and then we're taken care of.
To clarify that, if you want to fill out anything on site, you can. I don't know.
I mean, yes, there's a brief form where you can put how many loads and your name.
Yeah,
and
just to kind of keep track of how many people we're helping.
That's right.
I think is the goal there. So
This sounds like such a great resource. Is it only in Traverse City?
I think so.
yes.
And we have some location specificity to share with you. We do have Eastfield Laundry at 8th Street on the 2nd and 4th Thursday of each month from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. We also have Traverse City Laundry and Garfield Plaza. That will be the 1st and 3rd Thursday of each month from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty much every week of the month. So if you need your laundry done, Thursdays are the days to do that. Just check out which location to
And
go
this
to.
information will always be living on the
It's
website.
absolutely on the website. If you go to NMCAA.net and you click on programs at the bottom, you'll see, I believe it's economic stability or security, something along those lines. And then there's a whole tab all about the laundry project. Melissa, can you tell us a little bit more about how this program specifically impacts our local economy?
Our local economy. Well, one of the things that I think we talked a little bit about, and thank you so much for bringing up, that it is about being able to have clean clothes and hygiene. And the Laundry Project helps people and kids,
Yeah.
kids in school with confidence levels. I think we've seen maybe the commercials with Tide where there is like a laundry project in a school and the kids are getting their clothes done and they're together. And there's no stigma, and there should not be, around cleanliness and hygiene and just having clean clothes. It's something that for people who need to go interview or be at work, it's so important because, again, nobody's going to hire you if you show up, filthy and stains all over you. And the money we're able to put back into the community that way is making sure we have more people who are gainfully employed and they can spend that money elsewhere, like on transportation, right? We know we have a housing crisis and to get to anywhere is difficult. I just happen to live around the corner from the Eastville Plaza. It's a very convenient location with a few other places I like to frequent down there, but I've been there when the laundry project's going on, and I thank the people who I've seen working there, and especially Mr. Jim, who owns it.
So you're saying on the second and fourth Thursday of each month that may be the place to be from 6 a.m. to noon?
I think it's a place to hang out. I mean, I'm not going to go off on like the single circuit or anything, but if you
Just
were
a shout out. Yeah, just saying. Yeah,
frozen food aisles, laundry project.
we can create some destination vibes for each. I love it.
It has a really good vibe. It does. It's great. And we
Yeah.
appreciate our volunteers.
And this doesn't have to be for anyone specific that just needs their laundry done. I mean, you could also, if your washer happens to break down and you
Right.
just can't afford to get a new one just yet, Laundry Project, hit it up. I'm sure there are some stories. Do
Totally.
you have a couple of examples?
Well,
that
I've had
people?
several people come in who, their whole apartment flooded and they had to do all the laundry
Oh,
of all their
gosh.
bedding and all of the things.
Yeah.
And then I had one woman come in a panic because she had relatives come over that had lice. And so she had to try to then get rid of all of that in the laundry. And then, a lot of people, washers and dryers break down. They're waiting for another one. But often it's, the regulars that are coming that either don't have laundry available in their apartment or house, or it's just too expensive for them. And we have several regulars that come that, one family, she comes, she's got probably 7 loads of laundry that she brings, and she's got like 8 people living in her house. So she's doing the laundry of all of these family members all at once. And she's there for several hours,
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
I mean, and it's running now around. I just did some comforters on my own at the Eastfield place. But I paid for it. And just 2 comforters was like $40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
because
crazy.
each load can cost anywhere, washer from 9 something to 10, and then you add the dryer time in, and then when we talk about the economic impact, I mean time away from whatever else you need to be doing, in your lives.
Yeah.
And the confidence it gives the kids, you just can't speak. They do better in school. They're not just skulking about and being ashamed of their looks and their circumstances. So
Right. Needs are being met. It's hard
right.
to focus on learning.
And I'm hearing you can walk in and do more than 1 load of laundry. You can do
You
several
can
loads
do-
of laundry,
Yeah,
which is
some
incredible
people
as well.
who go to the Eastfield location, that's the only location they go to, and so then it's 2 weeks of worth of laundry
Yeah.
that they're
Right.
bringing in for
Yeah.
a group of 8 people. That's a lot of laundry.
Yeah, absolutely. Gosh. Wow.
And we also take the donations for things like detergent and dryer sheets and baskets. I mean, we
Do
know
they have to bring their own?
normally they would, but we have it
Yeah.
available.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that's,
Yeah.
Good
that's
call,
relieving.
Kaylee. Thank you for that.
yeah.
I saw an email a couple weeks back. That's the only reason why I knew.
See, good communication.
So I think this program would be amazing to spread to more rural areas because obviously it's only in Traverse City right now. So maybe that's something we need to work on as a NMCAA organization. But
There's been interest from
yeah.
Kalkaska and Emmett and Charlevoix counties thus far that we're aware of. It's just
Yeah. Nice.
it
It's
takes vetting the
right.
location and how committed they are to making the time available
Yeah.
and understanding.
and creating, what the logistics of that program looks like. Betty, do you have the upcoming dates in April? Could you share those with us?
Yes. So Garfield's next date is April 3rd, Eastfield's April 10th, Garfield again April 17th, and Eastfield April 24th.
Perfect. Thank you for that. I do want to interrupt the podcast real quick to celebrate some career milestone achievements. In March, we have 2 employees who have reached the 5-year mark with NMCAA. We have Katie Shaw
And Christine Bowers.
So, as always, we want to thank you both for your hard work and dedication to NMCAA and what you do each day to help your community and your neighbors.
Thank you for that. And speaking of laundry, I'm going down memory lane and I'm sidewinding a little bit because it's been a minute since I've needed to buy diapers. So I'm trying to get into the right headspace. And I'm remembering one of the big takeaways from buying diapers is how expensive they were. Well, Erica, wait a second. I'm sure the cost hasn't gone down. Erica, can you confirm?
I mean, Ryan,
you buy diapers.
Yes, I do buy diapers. And while we are officially potty trained 2 of 4.
Oh, yeah.
Our twins are the only ones in diapers now, but it's nice to cut back on that expense,
Okay,
obviously.
I imagine.
But, I don't know what the cost of diapers was back when your kids were.
Oh, in the early days, they were clothy only,
But they're certainly not cheap.
No, they weren't back then.
So, Kaylee, while your job title doesn't necessarily provide insight into what you're doing with the diaper grant, you do manage it. Can you tell us about the overall gist of the program? What is it?
Yeah. So I also just want to start by saying that I also have 2 kids.
Yes.
And yes, we spend a ton of money and have spent a ton of money on diapers.
Yeah.
And so my 3-year-old is still potty training.
Yeah.
So he's still in diapers. But yeah, they're expensive. So what our agency has received is a grant through Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. And we've received it for a couple years in a row now. And it provides free diapers to families who qualify. And they can obtain those diapers through community diaper pantries or a local network of community partners, such as like the health department and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And our own NMCAA child development programs too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring this program to light. I've actually been wanting you to come on for a while, but
I know
May
you have.
4th, which is going to be coming up soon, is National KIND, K-I-N-D Day. And we love acronyms on the show. So Ryan, I wanted you to guess. Do you happen to have a guess at what
This
KIND
is
might
difficult.
stand for?
Not a lot of words start with K. So I assume that it has something to do with kangaroos and we're going to Australia soon.
Well,
No?
not
You're
quite.
saying no.
No, not quite.
Okay.
KIND Day, I actually just found by stumbling upon it. It is
Oh.
kids in need of diapers. And so almost 1/3 of American families cannot afford this basic necessity. KIND Day aims to raise awareness about the importance of diapers and how the lack of them can have a negative impact on the lives of parents and children. And I found 2 fun facts about diapers while preparing for this show. Babies need roughly 6,000 diapers within the first 2 years of their lives. Yeah, do you see Ryan's eyes?
I didn't
That
know
tracks.
this was
That
going to be a
makes sense.
depressing show.
That tracks, Kaylee
That's
says.
a lot of money.
My
It is.
goodness.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then also the second fact is the monthly cost of disposable diapers can add up to $70 a month and $840 a year.
What a novel idea, helping parents of young children.
Yeah.
I can get behind that for sure. Those days are hard enough, having the financial burden of diapers and everything that goes along with babies and raising children. It's a lot to bear. Is this a unique program to NMCAA, or do other organizations have a program like this?
So NMCAA is the only grant recipient in our service area that has received this grant, but there are other grant recipients through the state of Michigan that received the same type of grant, and they also distribute diapers to families in need. Some community action agencies, some different agencies. It just depends on the location in the state. But we cover our whole 10-county service area.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously we know in our region you can find it on our website. If we're outside of our region listening to the show today, what should somebody type in, like Google diapers near me? Any idea?
Diapers near me.
Gosh,
Free diapers
Be
for
careful.
parents?
Be careful.
Honestly, really, if you Google free diapers near me, I've done it before, and it pulls up our website.
Oh, perfect.
It pulls
Look
up our
at me
website.
go.
and
You
it
know
pulls
what?
up
I was just going to say that's tremendous
And
marketing
I've-
effort.
I've gotten a lot of inquiries on the phone, via email, even people who live like downstate, down in Lansing, and they're like, hey, I need free diapers. My first question back to them is, where are you located? Because if you're not located in our service area, I can't help you, but I'm going to point you in the right direction of what agency that I can refer you to. Yeah. And I do also want to say, I don't think I mentioned this before. So we provide diapers to families in need, but they do have to qualify for the program. It's not just you can walk in and do your laundry. You do have to qualify. So there are different eligibility criteria for that. And a big part of our funding is through Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, so TANF. So in the past 12 months, if you've received Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, bridge cards, food stamps. If you've received that, SNAP, that's SNAP. If you've received FIP, what's the acronym for that? Financial Independent Program. I think it's cash assistance.
Okay.
If you've received weatherization, if you've received LIHEAP. WIC, that's not a qualifier.
No? Okay.
No.
I was like,
you can you can be a breastfeeding mom and receive WIC. It's more so has to do with your income.
Okay.
Yeah. But definitely SNAP, that's income based to receive that. That's not to say that WIC participants can't receive, because
it's just not
in a lot of our health departments that we partner with, they do distribute diapers to their WIC and maternal infant health participants who qualify through that. So if you receive any of those services in the last 12 months, but also a big one is if you fall under 200% federal poverty level, then you automatically receive diapers. And it's a self-declaration form that you fill out when you go to the pantry or to, the Salvation Army or health department. You don't have to bring proof of income or anything like that. So basically what you do is when you receive the diapers, you fill out a form that states who you are, it states what children you're receiving the diapers for, and how you qualify. So if you qualify for, based on your income, you just have to state how many members are in your family and what's your annual gross income.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well done. So somebody in need, how do they get diapers? Do they show up in NMCAA? Is there a wonderful warehouse? Maybe decorated
I
wonderfully?
wish we had like an Amazon type of warehouse where people could just drive up, right? But we don't have space and we don't really have staff for that. So what we do is we partner with the pantries in our area that they already see these people coming to them for basic needs and baby items are like
baby
a hot commodity.
Yeah.
So we partner with diaper pantries all over our service area, including organizations like the Salvation Army, St. Vincent de Paul, local health departments, and even some early childhood education programs like Early On programs, and also our own child development programs here at NMCAA. Yeah.
You did such a good job presenting to the board last week.
Oh,
it was
thank
your
you.
first time. You're doing such a good job on this
Thank
podcast
you.
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I thought it was so interesting during that board meeting, and it's come up before at BASA about adult diapers too. And we haven't gotten there yet, but
We haven't gotten there yet, but
posited that question to you at the board meeting, and you handled it really well.
And our grant, we are able to purchase diapers for anybody, really. It doesn't have to be like children under 18 or kids under 3.
Right.
It could be adults as well who need incontinence supplies.
Yeah.
And it's important, I think, the show, and when Betty talked about, what the experience is like, so you're breaking barriers down, people can hear and hear your voice, understand what the process is. So anybody, and I've said it before on the show, I'd love to reach somebody who's just close to reaching out and they just hear the right thing on this. So sharing what the experiences are like you've done, I think is super important.
So this program obviously really makes an impact. And I know, Kayla, you don't see the clients necessarily who are grabbing the diapers, but can you share with us the number of clients that we served last year, or how many sleeves of diapers we've given out? I know it's a pretty impactful number.
It is. So I think this is our 4th year receiving this grant. The first year was back in maybe 2022, and we received $30,000 or something like that. And Carrie actually coordinated it. And so when I stepped into my role in fiscal year 23, we received a grant of $550,000, and we were told you need to spend this all in 1 year. And so me and our purchasing specialist, Sherry Paul, huge shout out to Sherry because she's amazing. She's our diaper lady. Well, I'm actually dubbed the diaper lady here at NMCAA. She's my co-conspirator. We were kind of drowning in diapers, but during that time, we provided more of a families with a full month supply of diapers. And during that period, we distributed over 19,000 sleeves of diapers.
Wow.
So this last year's grant was seen more as like supplemental. We were just not able to provide that high number of diapers to families. So it was seen more as supplemental, and we served 1,756 households, and we distributed 9,157 sleeves of diapers.
Wow.
That's
So
incredible.
helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're looking for where to find our partners or pantries around the region, you can go to our website. There's a nice looking flyer on there, and it's all grouped by county. And you'll also see if there's open pantry times, and if the pantries are available for like walk-in clients, you'll see that as well. Sometimes you might need to call. Sometimes you might need to be like an enrolled member, like with WIC or maternal infant health. You need to be like enrolled in a certain program, like particularly with the health department. But if there is a time of need, like they're always very flexible. Like I've reached out to the health department once and I said, this person's in Kalkaska County. I know you only distribute to WIC, people that qualify who receive WIC. They really need diapers. And they're so great. She basically just said, like, give me her phone number and I'm going to reach out to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they kind of do whatever it takes to make families feel like, I feel like diapers are also like with clean laundry. It's just a basic need.
I mean, you have young kids. I have young kids. We know like diaper rashes are no joke, and like, changing those and get them clean, fresh diapers are so important to keep in their, and that makes them less cranky when they don't have a rash and things like that.
And
like,
it reduces their doctor's visits.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't
Health impact on the community.
Yes,
is profound.
for sure. And the
Absolutely.
confidence in the children, too, when you were talking about clean clothes make a child more confident. I mean, a clean diaper, basically, right when a newborn is crying and you're not sure what's going on, your number one
The
question
list
is,
of things to check.
okay, let's check their diaper because...
Sometimes as teenagers, I want to check, like, what is happening? And Betty, like, you probably see it anecdotally, the moods of people as they're entering and leaving. As an adult, I feel a little nicer in clean clothes always. Either way.
Absolutely.
And we don't want to make families choose between, like, paying their rent or
food.
or paying for food and
Something
you
that they
know,
have to-
hey,
yeah.
I'm going to reuse this wet diaper because I don't have enough.
Yeah. Or leaving it on just
or
a little
leave it on
longer
a little
because they don't have
longer.
enough to get through the rest of
Right.
the week. Yeah.
And that also impacts daycares too. Like a lot of families, when they go to daycare, they're required to bring their own
Yeah.
diapers.
Yep.
They
They have to provide them.
have to provide their own diapers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I said, been out of the game for a minute. There's so much to consider in all of these things. And Melissa, you and Erica work for NMCAA as a whole, whereas many of our guests on the show are very much into their program work. As a whole, are you able to potentially comment on how NMCAA is impacting the local economy? I like how we've teed up in a lot of ways, starting with the laundry project, how these affect our economy in a positive way. So can you give us a little bit of an overview?
Well, we talk about, unemployment numbers all the time, and some of the barriers there, the top barriers are housing, access to transportation, and then some of these other basic needs. And one of the best figures I have that I love, talking about is where our home ownership financial empowerment programming has positively impacted people. And, our free tax prep served 3,300 households last year. And that created $6,802,591 back into the local economy, right?
Yeah.
In credits and what people were able. So when we talk about from womb to tomb, the services that NMCAA provides, we're making sure that families have the nutrition needs that they may not be able to access necessarily. They have the ability to do money management courses to get their lives back on track. I mean, so much of this, it starts with, having diapers for the children so that they can go to daycare, so that we can take them on public, so that we can, continue. And then we go to laundry project where we have our, get our sheets and our clothes done. And so that we know without people having these basic needs met, they're not going to perform as well in school as students. They're not going to they're not going to have a job. And then we get into these other issues that we're trying to address with our community partners through transportation and affordable housing, and Habitat for Humanity and Beta and Pace North and Meals on Wheels. We want to make sure that our seniors are looked in on, because if they have health problems, then that system and that structure goes down for other people who are their caregivers.
Yeah.
I mean, the sandwich generation, which you and I now belong to, Ryan, are looking at our aging out parents and, bringing up kids and getting them into the
Yeah.
system.
And you never know who that elderly person may, again, be taking care of and who else they may be enabling to do what they're doing every day. Or even if it's just a trip to the laundromat.
Right. And a lot of these federal and state funded programs, as we are well aware, are being threatened. And we have to be diligent at a local level, friends, at a local level. The local impacts of keeping our communities employed and our kids in school and our families fed and people being able to get their basic needs met and some assistance with, through weatherization programs and home improvement programs. We do that as well. I mean, if you can't afford to move into a new home right now, okay, let's look at the house you have and see if we can make that a livable space for you so that you don't sink a bunch of money you don't have into a loan, or we figure out something else.
Well said.
Homeless prevention's doing a great job stemming the inflow of homeless persons that are entering our communities, because we saw a huge uptick between 22 to 23. But from 23 to 24, we actually brought those numbers down. And we know we're having a positive impact financially, in addition to just making our communities healthier.
Yeah. One program that I just marvel at is obviously our Head Start programs, Early Head Start and Head Start. And you don't really think about it at the surface level, but it's really impactful in terms of childcare costs.
Right.
If you get your child into those programs, it's free. And that means that you don't have to pay for daycare. That means that mom or dad could potentially go back to work. And so that's a huge benefit for our local economy as well.
Or having time to volunteer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And several of our programs are volunteer.
As we're talking,
Meals on Wheels, and
that's another way to give, if that's the way you can give.
Yeah. Melissa, you touched on the tax program. I know that you and all of our employees are eligible to do the tax program, but a lot of people are. And this year we have increased the AMI.
Average median income.
So if a household is underneath $100,000 in household income, you can come get your taxes done at NMCAA for free. I know last year, Melissa, you used the service. Can you just talk about what the process looked like for you, and are you planning to utilize them again this year?
Absolutely. Are you kidding?
Put right on the spot.
Ricky did it too. My partner, he did it for the first time last year. Last year, he participated in Super Saturday, which was back on February 9th, I want to say. And we served more people than ever before. First of all, it was unprecedented for that. I don't know if you were there. Yeah. Who else was there?
No, I wasn't there, but we talked about it at the board meeting.
We talked about it at the board meeting.
It was record numbers.
It was record numbers.
Yeah.
And the process itself was pretty simple. I went in, presented all my information. I only had to bring one thing back. I was able to file after the deadline, April 15th, but that's because I had submitted my paperwork beforehand, so there was no penalties for that whatsoever. And then my returns were filed, and everybody was happy, and it was so easy. It was and it as a great service for our entire staff. We're the 8th largest employer in Grand Traverse County.
Traverse City.
Traverse City, sorry. Thank you. Traverse City, which is a big city, now. And the fact that we can provide this service to our staff and those who are affiliated with them and family members, it's amazing, because I was very happy with it. And it was, our volunteers are very dedicated.
Yeah, and knowledgeable.
We've
and
had
patient.
some of these individuals on the
recently.
show before. Their names have been called out as people to be sought after.
Yeah.
I won't say those names now because I think their lives are stressful enough.
Their calendar is probably already booked.
Yeah, their calendar is probably booked right now.
I remember the steely-eyed gazes in the room like we're booked. So maybe forget about that.
Yeah.
But Justin's doing a really good job of getting out there and talking to human resource directors and managers at businesses to get more people in the door and to present it to them as a service to their business or organization.
Yeah. I wanted to just kind of circle back to the laundry project. I pulled up the information as we were all chatting. Last year in 2024, we have record of 3,093 individuals being served. So that's an incredible number for being, just in Traverse City in 2 locations.
Wow.
It's always happening there.
Yeah.
Every time I've been there.
Yeah.
Lots of people.
So,
Is that surprising? Is that a surprising number? Or from the day-to-day, is it not really that?
Having seen that many people come through, it's not surprising that there have been that many, but that's amazing.
Yeah. So I just wanted to, I know we missed something, so I wanted to grab that number for
Data,
us.
I think the listeners, the collective likes data.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's pretty definitive. And speaking of data, it's not too late to fill out those interest forms for Head Start and GSRP if you have a child who is 3 to 4 years old and are interested in free preschool options. Go to nmcaa.net to fill out the interest form today. And as we approach the end of the show, we get some hard-hitting questions. This is the fun part. So, Betty, first one comes to you. I know we said this isn't a gotcha in a tough show, but the TMZ moment is coming. So if there was one thing that you would want somebody who's just on the fence about, if you could really speak to that person who's just on the fence and they just have been close to getting involved, but they haven't as a guest of the Laundry Project, what would you want to say to that person who's just almost there but not there?
Yeah, I would say go for it, because not only does it make your life easier and more financially sustainable to do that program, but even just the community itself that's there is a supportive network of people that are like-minded, often, in a same situation as you are. And it's not as intimidating as you might think it would be. And I have a lot of people sometimes that come in, they're like, I don't know what to do. Am I doing this right? Or what do I do? And it's super simple. You just come in, there's somebody there that's ready to help you and show you the way. And, you just put your laundry in the machine and you say, please help.
Yeah.
And then they swipe it. So it's really, you just, write your name on a form and a couple things. But other than that, it's pretty easy breezy. And I would encourage you to do it.
And again, culturally, zeitgeist, great stories, great connections happen at the laundromat.
I was just going to say,
laundry.
I love that we've brought out the idea of the community in the laundromat too during the Laundry Project. I think that's really incredible. It's not something I had ever really thought about, but again, I think I need to go check it out.
And they, the people who are there, especially regulars, they help each other. And they help people who are new to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
And there's just a sense of camaraderie, and we're in this together, and you're not alone. And
that's super rad.
I feel like we need to cue up, the pretenders watching the clothes go around, as like our theme music for the Laundry Project.
Hey, marketing, is there licensing fees for that?
Probably.
What's the cost?
So, okay, next hard-hitting question. We're moving to Kaylee.
It's mine.
She's like, oh no, it's me. Okay, you could do this as grand as you'd like.
Yeah.
If you had one wish for the diaper grant, what would it be and why? You could unlimited diapers.
Put it into the universe.
Well, first, I kind of wish it wasn't like a grant that once it's done, it's done. I think that diapers should, I feel like they're just a necessity for every family. Every baby uses diapers. I don't know if you guys know of a newborn who's potty trained, but I don't.
I don't either. Do those exist?
We're not going to break that here on the show. Nope. Okay, moving.
But there's no government program that provides diapers for you. And so, I don't know, I think just bringing more awareness to how expensive diapers are and giving families more access to them, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to poke at Melissa and ask her about getting some funding for a private donation.
Also,
Poor Melissa, there it is. Always marketing, and you, Melissa.
Our jobs are important.
Look to you to solve it all. There it is. I see the weight.
It's a partnership between myself and all of the department heads and the staff and the volunteers. They're the ones administering and facilitating the programs. They know the need all too well. And obviously,
And I forgot to mention this earlier, but I think I just wanted to bring this up. I also love this grant so much because we are connecting our enrolled families. We provide them diapers as well through our programs, through this diaper grant, but we also give them the resources that they need to go out into the community and to reach out to community partners. And sometimes it's really hard to walk into a pantry for the first time and you don't know anybody, like you said, And so I think a goal of our Head Start programs is empowering parents to be their children's first teacher and gaining the confidence and resilience that they need to provide for themselves and to know where to go in the community once they exit our program.
Yeah.
So it's just nice to give those families that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that I am able to ask this person this question. This hard-hitting question for this celebrity guest on the show. I'm shocked, if I may.
Am I going to get one of those robes like they have?
The
you know,
Five-Timer
for
Club?
The Five-Timer Club with SNL?
That's
Come on.
right.
Are we gotta see how
Be
close.
on our lab coats.
I'm poised. I've been waiting for this for a long time. But Melissa, if you had to choose a spokesperson, any spokesperson for community action here in our community, for marketing purposes or otherwise, who would it be and why?
Oh, it would definitely be our clients and those who are in the field working with us, our volunteers and clients, because, I'm paid to do this and Erica's paid to do this and Brian's paid to do this. I mean, we know our jobs. They don't want to hear from us. The spokespeople are those who are the direct byproducts, recipients of our programs and services. And the transformative change that we bring to those families, it's generational. We're not just doing it for one person, we're doing it for so many others. And, living or dead, I'd love to have like Morgan Freeman's voice doing voiceovers for everything that we do. But Ryan, I'll just have to settle for you.
You didn't let me down.
Wait, Morgan
You
Freeman
didn't
die,
let
did he?
us down.
Morgan Freeman
No,
didn't
Morgan
die.
Freeman's not dead.
Oh my gosh,
We're
okay.
not
I was
breaking
like,
this
wait,
here.
no, what?
She said living or dead.
Living or
That's
dead.
hilarious. Breaking now for Kaylee.
I was
apparently.
like, what? I feel like I saw
Morgan
that
Freeman
on Facebook
alive.
once, and I'm like, that's a lie.
You can never be too careful. Melissa, you didn't let us down. And so the true heart of that story is it wouldn't be a spokesperson, It would be
Right.
somebody served.
Yeah.
Stories speak for themselves.
You wouldn't not take a call from Morgan
I
Freeman.
would
Yeah.
love to take a
Or
call.
his people, or adjacent.
Yeah, before we jump to the end here, you just said stories speak for themselves. I just want to ask Betty, do you have any one story that stands out to you? I know we don't normally add a question at the end, but is there one story that stands out to you of somebody who walked in and needed laundry done one day? And
Yeah, I have a friend that I've made actually through the process of her coming in. And I remember when she came in, she was super afraid and intimidated and kind of shuffling around, not really, you could tell that she didn't really feel like she belonged there. And, she kind of approached me shyly and was like, I think I need help. And, she had just been housed in the complex, blanking on the name, the one that's across from Safe Harbor now. And, they had just opened up their doors and they didn't have laundry services yet. And you could tell that she really was afraid and in need. And just being able to help her with that in that moment for me actually began a friendship with her where I could get to know her and her story and her life and just see even how that one moment of being able to welcome her and help her feel supported and for her to be able to get what she needed and across that barrier of fear and shame really changed things. I think for her and also helped her to see the people around her and the significant impact that's happening in the community as well. And so
Yeah.
that was just a beautiful moment for me.
awesome. Thank you for that. I felt like we needed something
Thank
good.
you for that question.
Something good to end on there.
Thank you, Betty, for that story.
Yes, absolutely. So before we end today, I do want to give one more reminder before we get Ryan's take. Tax day is April 15th, like it is every year. So we are doing free tax preparation. Contact one of our 3 main office locations to find out more. You can call 231-947-3780 and get your taxes done today. So, Ryan, it is time for your take.
Well, on April 15th, if you're not too busy celebrating National Laundry Awareness Day, which is a beautiful thing. Honestly, my initial impact has to do with impact. I really liked how NMCAA is able to, and Melissa articulates it really well, on the economic impact of what happens and articulates it in a way that's conversational, understanding, and not a bad thing or a dirty thing, speaking about laundry, but it's a positive thing, and you're lifting people up who don't have a lot, but they still have something. They have dignity, they have honor. So you're recognizing that too. And secondly, in my huge wow today is Betty's The Well. I wrote it down. You can see
Yeah.
it here. I think we should all go to the well, whatever your well is, whether it be laundry. Betty made a friend. We talked about it earlier, the laundromat, right? So whatever your well is, whatever it is, whatever means community to you, but that thing, and this happens to be laundry and making yourself and your clothing clean. So find your well.
Yeah, I love that. The community is an important aspect in community action. Thank you so much,
Betty, Haley, and Melissa, thank you so much for being our guests on today's episode. We appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to be here today and share your stories and your passion with us.
Thank you all for being here today. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please share this episode or show link on social media. Follow the podcast to know when a new episode drops and rate the show. It truly helps us spread the word on all the good NMCAA does in our community.
If you would like to become a sustaining donor with a recurring gift or contribute a one-time donation, please check out nmcaa.net/donate or send us a message at collectivuspodcast@nmcaa.net.
To learn more about Northwest Michigan Community Action Agency or the programs we offer, or if you'd like to make a donation, we encourage you to reach out at 231-947-3780 or visit our website, nmcaa.net. And to the collective today, we encourage you to continue to strive each day to do something to help yourself or your neighbors.
Hey, you with those heavy bags, I see that tired look on your face. Let me tell you about a special place in Traverse City, Michigan, where Thursday means we've got you, yeah. No need to count your change today, 'cause baby, everything's okay. We're here to help, we're here to stay. That's just how we do things in TC, yeah. See you next Thursday in Traverse City. Bring your loads of clothes. 2 spots in the third cities. Mountain, plenty of free washing, free drying, no strings, just getting by. See you next Thursday in TC. Let us make your life right. Ain't gotta stress about the cost or feel like you're getting lost, 'cause every Thursday we'll be here, making damn sure you're in the clear. From east to west we've got your back. Just show up, rotating Thursdays, that's a fact. No judgment here, just open arms. That's just how we do things, yeah. See you next Thursday. Bring your loads of love. 2 spots in the city. From east to west, free washing, free drinks, just getting by. See you next Thursday at the laundry. Let us make your life right in Traverse City. We're all in this together. Clean clothes, fresh start. We're all in this together. Open minds, open hearts. See you next Thursday at the laundry. Bring your loads of clothes. 2 spots in the city. Oh, we got plenty of free washing, free drying, no strings, just getting by. See you next Thursday in TC. You next Thursday in TC. Oh, let us make your life right.